The miracles of the celebrated 8 verses meditation can be found in every aspect of our existence. And it shows particularly beautiful in music. Sharing from a lifelong experience as a violinist in a renowned orchestra, Farinas helps us to connect with the essence of the 8 verses and the principles of Qigong. Let us explore how Qigong inspired her music and equally how music gave her valuable insights into the world of Qigong. My name is Thorsten Lüdecke and this is the Wisdom Qigong podcast. Hello everyone, this is Thorsten from the Chineng Qigong Students Hub bringing you the Chineng Qigong Community Podcast. Today I have Farinas with me and she was so kind to offer to pronounce her last name herself because she says, I'm hopeless and I will never be able to do that correctly. Farinas, please give us your last name.
Gerard Pichet, but you don't need to learn my last name. Farinas is enough.
Okay, that's great. You said, yeah, she just explained that even her website only has her first name because it is so difficult for people to pronounce otherwise. So welcome to the show, Farinas.
Thank you.
Our topic today is Qigong and music. Now, my first question obviously is, what does one have to do with the other?
Actually, everything. I mean, in Qigong, we learn about 8 versions. And I am just retired and I've worked 41 years in orchestra. And when we start, we are all on the scene with our instrument doing all the sounds and playing for ourselves. And at that moment, the conductors come by, the concertmeister will stand up. And that is for us is the moment to stop. And in Qigong, they said, stand up, head in blue sky, feet to the earth. And in orchestra, we know that the tune that the concertmeister give us happen the same, because we have to take this tune. So we actually, with having one tune to each other, with each other, we are connecting all of each other, the blazers and then all the strings. And after 3 minutes, then come the conductor and he is standing there. And we know all we are quiet. So we go inside. And it's only we are never being conscious about this. And when 16 years ago, I learned for first time Qigong, and I learned about how I have to grounding, how should I use my centrum line. That was a beautiful word for me to connect my music when I am sitting with everybody and then open from the earth, from the podium with each other and to connecting. What we did always, from going inside the music to going together, that we are not important ourselves. And that I love so much about playing in an orchestra, because when you are solo, your ego is also playing. So I have to be good. I have to show I am not really connecting. I feel separation with people, but the music is not separating. The music just connecting everybody together. And in an orchestra, we are not important. I am not important when I play violin. It is everybody is important. And we go just to this emptiness, to this chi field. So it's exactly the same. It's exactly the same when we are going to the opening ourselves, when we go through our body and we thanks our body. So you can be very thankful to the sounds that your instrument is close to your heart. My instrument, in a way, I am violinist. And this consciousness give me more joy. I always had a lot of love and joy for my violin. And but give me also a lot of joy and consciousness about many different things, because it's not always so poetic and so nice, because we have sometimes, it is very exciting work. We have to have a 100% concentration, and we have, it's not natural way of playing. We get a lot of pain in our necks, arms, because that is not naturally ways to work about 8 hours on a day. We are not allowed to go for a walk if we have a pain in our back. The concert has to go on. We don't are not allowed to stop when our arms get pain. But with the consciousness of Qigong, I learned a lot how I can be at that moment, give another information from the love and the peaceful connection with each other to my body. And it was always miracles who that worked, and then at once was gone, and I could carry on and play more.
You already brought up a lot of beautiful metaphors that really,
Yes.
I wasn't aware of. But I think there's so much we can find in how you describe, how an orchestra works. It reminds me, of people coming together for a practice, for a joint practice, and everybody is just all about his daily lives and all kinds of thoughts going on. And then we start to build the chi field, right? Which is also where we align to one intention and where we
Yes.
align to a common goal, so to speak. And that
Yes.
is what's happening in the orchestra as well at that moment. And we know from the chi field how much more we can achieve if the chi field is created by a group. And just as you said, most people obviously in the orchestra are not aware that this is what they are doing,
No.
but you are, and I think it's a beautiful, beautiful way to find a parallel in your work of music, in your world of music. When you look at Qigong and even the 8 verses that you just mentioned, there's so much that you actually need to do to ground yourself before you go into the performance. Yeah, that's just a really, really beautiful. Is there anything else from the 8 verses that sometimes, maybe you use as a tool, or that you connect with, when you're playing, when you're in one of these situations in the orchestra?
Yeah. I like very much that, that to don't say it 8 versions words by word. I like the meaning, the feeling of 8 version that for me is, and that is why also I always explain to the people, and I let them to find their own word, because I am from Persia. I have grown up with another language, and then English, Dutch language, French. The language can bring me a lot of separation, and I don't like the feeling to be separate. And does that happened also when I learned 8 version. So it was, I always say to my husband, those are not enough words. It is translate from Chinese to English, and then I am transforming to Netherlands, and that is not the feeling of the words. I have to know the feeling of the words. When I went to the China, then they really started to tell about what is it, what, because the culture thinks something else when they say blue sky of that your mind is clear. Just, I mean, it's a country of the mountains. Netherlands is a country of not mountains. So you can't imagine what for those people, or for me from Persia, the imagination of those words is in my body, in my blood. And so what for me is important is when they say the mind is clear, that is with the music, and with the when you are in an orchestra, when we start, the concertmaster give the tune and the conductors come and start like this, is at once is nothing. We shouldn't have anything. Of course, sometimes comes things, and you hear the things around of you, but you have the music. So, and that is, we are learned from child time. So when the music is there, we interpret our eyes with the music, we hear it in our ear, and then happens something very new. And with 8th version, we are standing, looking at one point from of us and give all of our sense to this point. That happened also. I mean, actually, in orchestra, we playing with our eyes and ears and all the sense, but they are all together. They are not. They are not one by one, and that is also the meaning of standing up and look at one point. Give your sense. It's not that we don't have those sense. It means that all of our sense become one. It's not individual, and that we go one with the emptiness of around of us and this point, and we bring this emptiness back to ourselves. So that happened actually all the time with the music and in orchestra, that we go to the emptiness and the emptiness comes to us in combination with the sounds. And that happened because I am not important anymore, you know. I am not Farina's, just my sounds is important than other. And it is all together is very important. And that is yeah, it is so nice feeling when I find this feeling also back to the with practicing with Qigong. And that was I always had also like feeling, oh, I feel great when I am playing, but why I am not feeling the same when I am at home cooking? Of I love my life, but was very different feeling, very different satisfaction feeling than before that I learned Qigong. And when I find Qigong, I had a choice also to have that when I am not playing violin. So that was very nice.
I think you're bringing up a very interesting thought here. When
Yeah.
when I raised my question and you said it's for you, it's not so much about the individual lines of the 8 verses. For you, it's about the complete
Yes.
idea, the what the 8 verses actually mean. And that is, it's just, the analogy with your music as well. It's not about the individual note or the individual line of music. It's the whole composition. It's not about the individual musician in the orchestra. It's about
No.
bringing all of that together. And the idea to isolate one note or one line or one musician doesn't really make sense in this
No.
context. And so, so without me knowing, that question actually brought up another beautiful parallel, a beautiful metaphor for how Qigong works as well. And so I think that's a great learning. And it just shows me how stupid my question was to ask you for which line, would work where best for you. But then you're touching, for the second time, you're touching on something which is about, you not being important, and how beautiful this is when you just immerse yourself and become one with the orchestra, and when it's about the complete picture and not just an individual person. I think that is a great observation also, compared to the solo artist, where you spoke about the ego and the focus is on you and how well do I perform, rather than just letting yourself be taken away on a wave with all of the orchestra, or like everybody in the Chi field. So I'd love to hear a little more about that, and how that translates into your daily life.
Yeah, sometimes it's so difficult to put words on what you feel and of what you experience. So, I mean, it is of course not all the time, because sometimes is it also difficult pieces we have to practice of at home, or but you know yourself, you have been to the concert hall. They are a concerts that you forget everything, and the music just take you, and at once you see that you are 45 minutes later, and yeah, it happened something. It happened, and for me, if I would put a word on, is it that we are actually for first, then at that moment we are in now, in this moment, and we don't actually becomes in a state of don't knowing anything. I mean, I am working very hard. I am doing very much words, but behind those working, lots working, is something that I don't know what is it. It is nothing. And that's happened also when I am practicing my chi body. When I am really connected with chi field, is that I am in a state of don't knowing anything, and I am nothing, and just connecting with this emptiness. And that is what Master Liu very often said, emptiness, but not emptiness. So it's very nice. It's really that feeling. It is an experience. I always say it also to my students. So you have really, I say things, but you have to experience and find your own word for it. And so is the information in the information, is the emptiness in the emptiness. And with the music, of course, comes different line of music that touch you, remind you something. And that happened also with chi field. We are very connected. At once comes something from when you are 2 years old. I think, oh my God, I don't want to have that. But when you are conscious, you can look at, and then you said, okay, is enough. And you again becomes connected. So that happened also with beautiful music. And again comes something difficult. So then you feel, oh my God, I feel my arms. Happens also with keeping chi body, but happens also with playing. But then you are conscious, and then you can just changing. And what beautiful is also what I learned from Qigong is how important it is. I should be kind to myself, to be kind my inner child, and separate my body and myself. You know, my body can be tired, but my inner child just need to be loved and to be soft. And that is when I remember myself, when also I am playing and get pain. I just remember, Sofan, when I said, very stupid, if I say just, I love you in myself to my arms, at once you feel it, that goes away. And then I can carry on. And, you know, I think be practicing and knowing the language of chi field and information that the chi field for each of us, combining our lifestyle, is very important, that we learn to hear this information. And that is the same in a good concert. I have to hear now from the first violin goes lower and the second violin goes now harder. I have to allow them to play harder. I am playing the first violin, and now is this solo. So that is the information. At that moment, maybe we practice a lot, but at the concert is again another different information. And that is with practicing, each day is the same. So each day is a different information for me, from past, from future, transforming now. So it's really very challenging. I can't say anything. It's just nice.
My name is Leila Cupido, and I'm the project manager of the Students Hub. Our team is constantly adding events, teachers, videos, and other resources to take your practice to the next level, improving the quality of your life and the life of the people around you. We do this work for you, so please use it. Hunyuan Ling Tong.
Now, Farinas, that brings me to something you just said when you spoke about, you're in a state of knowing nothing. Yes. Now, but at the same time, you say, like, when you're in this state, you pick up certain things, like, you have to play a little harder, a little louder, this or that. I mean, I'm not a musician, so please excuse my language here. So I would say, just like Master Liu said, empty yet not empty. I would say, like, I would say, in this case, it's know nothing yet know everything, because you do pick up the information that is necessary at that moment, and you have an understanding of the total without being able to put any words on to it, but you just know. People that don't practice Shineng Qigong would say intuitively. But yeah, I would say how you're picking it up from the G field through your ENG, your consciousness, because you're in a state where this information flows freely and you don't put any boundaries. So you can pick up these things and you know exactly what to do. Is that fair to say, or am I making it up here?
No, I like everybody find their own word. So you say it beautiful. It's your understanding, so it's okay. It is not just one word for those things. It
Right.
is many different experience, and if we find that and trust our own experience, that is also important.
And Farinas, do you also, I can see how you use Shineng Qigong, you know, and how you make the parallels in your music and in your work. Is there anything you could, you know, offer to our audience the other way around, where they can use your analogy of music to help them with their practice? Is there anything that, you know, comes up for you?
I think everybody does already. Most of people love the music. You can look the children. I have a grandson of 2 years old. He's just singing whole days. And um, so don't think that you can't play music or you can't sing or something. It really doesn't matter. Is that again is our ego that thinks that music should be perfect. No, just when you feel something in your heart and you feel to put a sound on, you have really to do it. And if you're at home and you love some music, just sing it. Or if you want to play new instrument, just do it. It is everything is okay. Is everything chi? The music is also chi. And when you have a time to listen the music you like, uh, just connecting, you know. Sometimes the music bring our back to our childhood, to sadness or something. Allow to yourself, but don't stay in a story of childhood. Don't stay in a story of sadness. Of course, you can look yourself. Oh, I was 3 years old with my mother. I listened to this piece, but that is it. That is enough, and carry on. Go farther with what the music give you. Nice feeling for now for your inner child. How you can be more kind to your inner child, you know. So that and that helped, you know. It is not something that we can learn and it stay. It is like brushing our teeth. It is like breathing. We have to breathe each moment of day. We have, otherwise we will die. My heart has to uh, work each day. Otherwise, I am not here. So with those things, we think also I practice enough, and I have to know it now. I played violin from my 9 years old, but always I had to practice. So with Qigong is the same, and remembering ourselves that, oh, am I kind to myself? Am I kind to my inner child? How can I be more soft when I am practice? How can I be when I do lift you up softly, not correct? I don't like to be correct. So that is why I don't teach the movement, because I think it's okay. But how can I be kind and soft when my hand push down or when I push up? I can do it correct, but with not kindness to myself, to my inner child, to the chi field. And I think I really believe everything is love. And we forget very often that we are love. So my mantra is also forgiveness to myself, that I forgot that I am love. And that happened all the time. It is not something that I can do it just one day. I have to do it 10 times in a day. I have to do each day. And also in a practicing. And that is also connecting with the music. So it is a choice I have. It is a choice how I listen to your music. Do I want to have the kindness from the music, connecting with my inner kindness, make it something bigger, and more love, more peaceful? Or am I just want to listen and feel myself miserable and thinking about how unlucky I was, and I am coming from this country, my father was that, or my mother did that. Is also is allowed, is do it for 10 years, but I think that is enough. Then you have again choice to be kind to yourself and look at the future that is different than past. The future that is kindness and love, and that is the universe, and that is the true field. I don't know.
I
It's
think
difficult to find
that is
it.
beautiful. You said it beautiful, and when you because the kindness, everybody, we kind of know we should be kind to ourselves. It's like everybody tells
Yeah,
us be kind to yourself,
yeah,
but it's one thing knowing it, and it's another thing to actually practice, to actually being that. And I love what you said when you said, you also have to forgive yourself for forgetting that. Because in
yes,
our everyday life, we are just busy here, busy there. That problem comes up, this problem comes up, and we forget being kind to each other,
yes,
to
yes.
ourselves. And
And to
but the
be
moment,
soft, also very soft. That is
yes.
also very important to be soft.
Now the
And
moment we forgive ourselves, it is an act of kindness as
yes,
well, right? And so I think this is a very important message you've got here. What I want to come back a little bit for the music, because what we haven't touched yet is that many of us, we actually practice with music. So when we do our daily Qin and Qigong exercises, we use music in the background, and it is partly to tune us into that state that you're just describing. So we'll probably listen to something, soft, gentle, meditative. How do you feel about that?
I don't practice myself with music at
Oh, that's
all.
interesting. That's interesting.
No, and but I love to hear sometimes if I'm somewhere with the music. But I know that there are people then they become dependent of the music. It was funny today. I practiced with music from Hartor with a special resonance of 43. So I wanted to feel how is the Chi feel, but um, it is very good. It is everybody's allowed, but if they know that it is not, it is one of the other. I am not depend of the music, and
Right.
music is not depend of me. So it is to be connected, and again to allow ourselves to find something new. Again, going to don't knowing anything. Then we, sometimes we practice, and it is a wonderful practicing, and next day is just is a war. Is everything, all the thoughts comes, and but it's also very good practicing, but we don't know, so we are just looking always with what we experience from past, and and if I am allowed myself to give some advice to the people, I will say, please don't use your experience from past. Just each time be open from this moment what will happen, and then combine the experience later on in your day, and that happens beautiful things in your day. But during practicing, don't think, oh, yesterday I went more and more, it was more connecting. But even if the thoughts comes, if even we feel not so quiet as the day before, that is also very good exercise, because we need to see those things also, and when we are connecting with the chi field, that happens. And that happened with me when I practiced when I was young. I didn't know about psychology of everything, but when I started to play violin, all the thoughts of the home, my sisters, my brother, my mother, everything would comes to my head, and I was just playing. And then at once I thought, no, stop. Just look at your thoughts and then start to play.
Mhm.
So it's very interesting to to be honest with yourself and accept everything, and using the challenge to go to unknowing things. And yeah, it is challenging. It's very difficult, but it's really challenging.
What you said earlier, when you are teaching Qineng Qigong, you don't focus so much on posture and the correct movements. What is the focus of your teaching when you have students?
I focused very much grounding. For me, is the most important thing. Centrum line and good chi field. For me, it's very important to be in a good chi field and connecting. And really grounding for me is the most important things, because I said also to people, I said, if you are religious and you are looking for a God, don't look him upstairs, looking him downstairs. He's there. And when you are grounded, you open yourself, you are more to the back. So that is our Yuanqi, of course, we know it. But if someone doesn't know about that, so it's if you're in a back thing, looking things from your backside, then and grounded, then everything, you see that there is not one way of thinking. Everything is possible, everything is true. But when I am front and my thought goes just up, then I want to be right. What I am telling you is right. So that happened also most of time with discussion. You see that then you would have to look the people they are discussing. They are always like this.
That's
Nobody
true.
is discussing of shouting to each other from the backside and grounded. So and of course, you have to know, but and you have to practice, but in certain way. I mean, I don't mind if we are doing pushing up and down, that one arm is lower than other, or fingers higher. But if I see the person really feel the chi and feel it, the connected that the chi give it us and we give it back, I think is that all beautiful, the experience to be connected and to be trusted, and that is very important.
I think that is one of the beauties of Qineng Qigong, because there are many ways to access the power of Qineng Qigong. And we see, Dr. Pang said, the theory is the practice and the practice is the theory, which means you can access, all the wisdom and the benefits just via understanding. That is a possibility. You can access this, just as you said, by being grounded and just immersing yourself in the chi field. But I also know that you can access this by doing the correct posture and the correct movement.
Of course,
it's really different angles that you can use. And as you said it a couple of times today, everybody is different. And one thing might resonate with me and it might not resonate with you. So whatever access point I find, works for me is the right way for me. And somebody else might use a completely different point.
Different, yes.
We can also see this, in the masters. We've got very different masters that, some of them are very particular with the movements and the postures, and it's really useful, and people benefit a lot from it. And others, don't really care so much at all. And they're also very successful in the work that they do, and people benefit immensely. So I think it's very, very nice to see, teachers from all angles, and I can totally see why this teaching method or why these factors are so important to you, because it's a perfect mirror for your whole life experience and how you've created beauty and through your music all those years, right?
But happened also with the music when we learned. I learned play violin. You have different teachers. That one is it more for opening your heart, and another teacher was for the techniques that we had to learn. So that is very important to know about both, and just changing from one teacher to another and learn from everybody, and then make it your own thing. So it is what you said is 100% correct. You have really to know about all those things, about also the movement, why the pink has to turn on, and and feel it. But the important is, don't stuck to one way that is right. What you said also, it is everything is right. Just what is good for you. Yeah, you said it beautiful. Yeah.
And I think that's a great closing word, Farinas, because just as you said, don't get invested in a certain music when you practice. Don't think it has to do with this music. Same thing is for the practice itself. It's not this way or that way. Don't be invested in either or. Things might also work different times very well for you, and on another day something else might be the better path, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Farinas. It was very exciting to talk to you, in particular because I don't know much about music, so I was a little nervous to see, okay, whether I would be able to actually have this conversation, but it went beautifully, and thank you very much for your wisdom.
Thank you.
And
yes,
thank you
also.
for all the beautiful music you were giving people in all these decades. I'm sure you've created a lot of joy, and maybe that's why you're such a joyful woman.
Yeah, thank you very much. My love to you. And
thank you. And for all the listeners, we obviously have Farina's contact details in the show notes. So if you feel like you want to get in touch or you want to, work with her as your teacher, just, use her website and get in touch with Farinas.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
My love to Britta, and I hope to see you both very soon to our house.
Thank you very much.
We trust you enjoyed this conversation, and we invite you to subscribe to our podcast so we can stay in touch and notify you of future episodes. We will end today's episode with the 8 verses meditation performed by Jin and Qigong teacher Katrin Hendricks. Enjoy. To get your free ebook on the 8 verses meditation, please check the show notes below.